You know, some stories are about a person, others are about an idea. But every now and then, you get a story where one person's ambition is just so massive, it feels like they're trying to rewrite the future for every single one of us. Well, this is one of those stories. So it really makes you wonder, right? Can just one person with enough money, enough drive, and just sheer willpower actually steer the ship for all of humanity? That's the exact question we're digging into today, all through the lens of one man and one very specific year, 2026. On New Year's Day, Elon Musk didn't just tweet out a resolution. He made a declaration. 2026 will be a banger. Not just good, not just busy, a banger. So what in the world does that actually mean when you're in the business of building worlds? Let's start right here on solid ground. All right, section 1, mastery of Earth. Because look, the grand quest for the future, it doesn't start out in the stars. It starts right here with plans to reshape our world, our cities, and even how we think about work. This is the foundation for everything else. Before we can even look at 2026, you gotta understand the scale of what's already happened. 9 million. That's how many Teslas are already driving around on our roads. That's a global fleet that's really just the warm-up act. And this is the fuel for the fire. At the start of the year, a personal net worth of $482 billion. But this isn't just about being rich. This is the engine that's going to power everything we're about to see, from AI all the way to new planets. And that engine is already running at full throttle. A 500 megawatt data center for XAI is going up in Saudi Arabia. Now, this isn't just a building full of computers, it's a genuine supercomputer, a digital titan built to push the very limits of what intelligence can be. So all of that money, all of that power is being funneled into two world-changing goals for 2026. First, there's the robotaxi fleet we've all been hearing about for years. But the second one, and this might be the real game changer, is the launch of the Optimus version 3, a humanoid robot. And this is so important, because think about it. If your ultimate goal is to build a city on another planet, you need a workforce that doesn't need to breathe. You need tireless, robotic workers. Because apparently, mastering just one planet isn't enough. The second, and way more ambitious part of this whole quest for 2026 takes us away from the blue and green of Earth and straight to the cold, red dust of Mars. And this right here, this is the endgame. We're not talking about planting a flag and coming home. We're talking about building a city, a permanent, self-sufficient human colony on another world. This single idea is the driver behind every rocket launch, every robot we just talked about. And the timeline to get this done? It's honestly kind of bonkers. It all starts this year, 2026, with the first uncrewed Starship heading to Mars, a mission that Musk himself admits is basically a 50-50 shot, a coin flip. If it works, humans could be landing there as early as 2029. And the city itself? That's a project for an entire generation, but it all begins now. But that first flight creates a huge debate. The plan is to send Optimus robots as the first crew. It makes sense for the narrative, right? But a lot of experts are raising their eyebrows. They're asking, why would you send a walking robot to a totally unknown planet when a flying one, like that little Ingenuity helicopter that was such a huge success, could explore way more effectively? It's a real clash of visions, the dream of a humanoid future versus proven, practical exploration. Now, to make any of this work, the city, a long-term base, you have to wrap your head around this concept, ISRU. It stands for In Situ Resource Utilization. It's a fancy way of saying you have to live off the land. You have to be able to make your own fuel, your own water, your own air to breathe, all from the Martian dirt and atmosphere. And the sheer scale of that challenge is just immense. To make enough rocket fuel for just one Starship to fly back to Earth, the solar power plan requires rolling out arrays that would cover 7 football fields. And here's the kicker. All of it has to be set up by robots before a single human ever steps foot on the planet. It's a monumental engineering problem. And that's assuming you can even land in one piece. Starship is a really tall, thin vehicle. And as experts have pointed out, and as we all saw happen with the Odysseus lander on the moon, trying to land something like that on rocky, uneven ground is incredibly dangerous. One bad bounce, one hidden slope, and the whole mission could literally just tip over. But this whole quest isn't just about fighting against the laws of physics. If you want to build new worlds, you have to wield an incredible amount of power on the old one. And back on Earth, that same level of ambition has been aimed at the government, which has led to one of the most controversial parts of this entire story. It was called the Department of Government Efficiency. The nickname? DOGE. And yeah, that seems to be a deliberate nod to the meme. It was created with this promise of maximum transparency to slash trillions in government waste. What happened next, though, was anything but transparent. According to reporting from The Guardian, the initiative tore down the U.S. Agency for International Development. It cut the federal workforce by 9%, and it threw global food and health aid programs into chaos. And the real irony? Instead of cutting waste, a report from congressional Democrats estimated it might have caused over $21 billion in waste. And all of this was happening behind a curtain of secrecy that led to dozens of lawsuits. And the real-world impact, at least according to critics, was absolutely devastating. A study from the Gates Foundation actually connected the aid cuts to a rise in the death rate of children under 5 for the first time in decades. And that prompted this stunningly direct quote from Bill Gates.
So, here we are. We're left with these two narratives for 2026, running side by side. You've got this breathtaking, world-building vision for humanity's future in space, and at the same time on Earth, you have a story of huge power, massive disruption, and profound controversy. The destiny of this whole quest is still totally unwritten.
And this is the empire that's powering all of it. Company valuations in the hundreds of billions, a personal fortune that's bigger than the GDP of some entire countries. The numbers are almost so big you can't even wrap your head around them, but they show the scale of the force being used to shape this future.
Which brings us right back to where we started. Is this the work of a visionary, pulling humanity towards some magnificent destiny? Or is putting this much power, this much influence into the hands of just one person a danger?
You know, maybe the best way to think about it for now is with this quote from Casey Dreyer over at the Planetary Society. He says, "There are no guarantees any of this will work, but you never want to bet against them. The ambition is clear as day. The capability is proven. But the consequences for all of us here on Earth and for that potential future on Mars are still waiting to be written in the year 2026.